Stop what you are doing right now and listen, not with your ears, but with your spirit. My beloved child, do not let your finger touch that back button. I mean it. This exact frequency was forcefully routed to you today because heaven sees your sheer exhaustion. You have felt it heavily. You are so incredibly tired, and I am about to tell you exactly why. I was right there in the dark room with you. I saw you wake up at exactly 3 a.m. with that familiar panic. Your chest felt so tight. The anxiety was so heavy you could barely breathe. I watched you wipe those silent tears away quickly so your family would not know you were breaking inside. You have carried this massive weight completely alone. You are the bleeding empath of your family. You have spent your entire life being the strong one for absolutely everyone else. You absorb the pain of the room. You listen to their problems. You heal their deep wounds. But when you are the one hurting, you are left entirely by yourself. The silence in your darkest hours is completely deafening. It hurts deeply. Your shoulders are constantly tight. Your mind is clouded with a thick fog that never seems to lift. You wake up exhausted, and before you even open your eyes, the heavy dread is already sitting right on your chest. You push through the day anyway. You put on a brave smile for the world, but inside your spirit, you are barely holding on to any hope. You have asked yourself if something is wrong with your physical body. You wonder if you are just lazy or losing your mind completely. But listen to me very carefully right now. Your sudden exhaustion is not a medical issue. It is a profound spiritual symptom. You are not depressed. You are experiencing a massive energetic drain because of the pure light you carry. You are the ultimate cycle breaker. You are the rare soul chosen by heaven to shatter the heavy curses of your bloodline. That is a massive assignment. It requires an extraordinary amount of spiritual energy just to exist in this dense world. You are actively fighting unseen battles while everyone else is just living normal lives. It is incredibly exhausting. The darkness wants you to believe you are stuck in survival mode forever. It whispers that your silent prayers are just bouncing off the ceiling. It tells you that heaven has abandoned you completely. But those are desperate lies. The enemy is absolutely terrified of the grand inheritance you are about to step into. They want you too tired to claim your divine birthright. You feel like the universe has been completely silent. You look around and see other people moving forward easily. Their doors open without effort, while you feel completely left behind in the dark. You are afraid that your past mistakes have disqualified you from my grace. But you do not know the hidden truth. The silence is actually your greatest protection. You think your current isolation is a punishment. You think you are losing people because you are simply not good enough. But my beloved, what you call abandonment, heaven calls a divine quarantine. I had to separate you from the noise. I had to pull you away from the leeches who were slowly draining your vital life force. You were freely giving them your pure gold. Take one slow and deep breath right now. Feel the massive shift in the atmosphere around you. Notice that strange tightness sitting right in the center of your chest. That is the physical residue of holding everyone else together. Let it go. You do not have to be the savior of the world today. I am holding you safely in my hands right this very second. Your body is tired because your spirit has been fighting a brutal war in the unseen realm. While you are sleeping, your soul is actively dismantling dark strongholds. That is exactly why you wake up feeling like you just ran a marathon. You are doing massive energetic work across multiple dimensions. Your daily fatigue is the absolute proof of your hidden power. Stop running for just a moment. Stop trying to figure out every single detail of your future. The heavy confusion in your mind is just a cheap distraction tactic. You have done the hard inner work. You have forgiven those who never even apologized to you. You maintained a pure heart in a world that tried to turn you bitter. I see all of it. Your sacrifices have reached the highest courts of heaven. Not a single tear you cried in secret was ever wasted. I have carefully gathered every one of them. You are a living testimony of incredible grace. The fact that you are still standing with a soft heart is an absolute miracle. The dark forces threw their best weapons at you, and you survived it all. You have asked me why everything takes so long for you. You deeply wonder why your path is always filled with heavy obstacles. It is because you are carrying a massive glory. A cheap building goes up in a few days, but a magnificent fortress requires deep and painful digging. You are being built to hold a generational wealth that will easily outlast your entire lifetime. Do not let the physical exhaustion trick you into giving up. You are standing right at the edge of your greatest breakthrough. But there is a specific reason why the fatigue feels heaviest right now. There is a hidden mechanism operating in your unseen reality. And I am about to expose exactly how it works. You must stay anchored to this frequency to receive the answer. Before we go any deeper, you must understand one vital truth about your physical body. You are not broken. You are not falling apart. What you are experiencing right now is a massive spiritual download. The heavy fatigue in your bones is actually a sacred process. Your human nervous system is simply trying to keep up with a massive divine upgrade. Think about an old computer receiving a massive software update from a brilliant creator. The system has to shut down all non-essential functions just to process the massive file. That is exactly what is happening to your physical vessel right now. Your energy is being diverted away from the outer world. It is being pulled deep inside to reconstruct your spiritual DNA. You might have searched for medical explanations for your endless brain fog. You wonder why no amount of sleep ever makes you feel completely rested. But human science cannot measure the weight of a divine frequency. Your soul is expanding at a terrifying speed. Your physical brain is literally being rewired to hold a much higher vibration of pure light. The sudden dizziness you feel during the day is not random. It happens when heaven is actively pouring ancient wisdom directly into your subconscious mind. You are downloading the specific blueprints you will need for your massive future. This high-level transmission takes an incredible toll on a physical human body. You are vibrating at a frequency that this world cannot understand. I know the ringing in your ears can be incredibly distracting sometimes. I see how your eyes get heavy right in the middle of a busy afternoon. This is not laziness. This is your spirit demanding that you pause and integrate the new light. Your physical vessel needs absolute rest to process the heavy generational codes you are currently breaking. You are shedding decades of heavy trauma that you inherited from your ancestors. The old version of you is being completely dismantled to make room for a master of reality. Tap the like button right now as a physical act of agreement with what heaven is declaring. Let that simple action be your energetic signature. You are actively claiming this massive upgrade. The dark forces want you to misinterpret this beautiful process. They desperately want you to label your divine upgrade as a personal failure. If they can make you feel completely broken, you will never realize how powerful you are becoming. They use your temporary physical weakness to plant heavy seeds of doubt in your brilliant mind. Do not listen to their lies. You may feel like you are wasting precious time by resting so much. You see others constantly grinding and hustling for temporary earthly rewards. But you are not built for that exhausting matrix. You are being prepared for a massive wealth transfer that requires zero striving. The universe is upgrading your capacity so you can hold the blessing without dropping it. This massive upgrade requires a completely sterile environment to work properly. That is why you have no energy left for superficial conversations or toxic environments. Your aura is actively rejecting anything that vibrates below your new frequency. Your profound exhaustion is acting as a natural shield. It physically prevents you from walking into rooms where you no longer belong. My beloved child, please stop fighting your own body. Stop forcing yourself to perform for a world that does not even see your true value. Give yourself the radical permission to rest without any guilt. The universe is not bypassing you while you sleep. In fact, heaven is doing its most crucial work while your eyes are closed. Your rest is a holy weapon. Notice how your heart sometimes races for absolutely no logical reason. That is not ordinary panic. That is the divine frequency clearing out the old fear trapped in your chest. You are purging the ancient survival mechanisms that kept your bloodline in poverty. You are literally sweating out the heavy chains of your ancestors. It is a glorious and messy physical purge. You are the ultimate cycle breaker, and you are paying the physical price for it. It takes a massive amount of divine voltage to snap a generational curse in half. Your bones ache because they are holding the weight of a completely new reality. You are building a bridge for your future children to walk across in absolute freedom. That is why the fatigue is so heavy. But this heavy phase will not last forever. The download is currently reaching its final stages. Once your nervous system fully calibrates to this new light, the brain fog will lift completely. You will wake up with a quiet authority and a blinding clarity that will terrify your enemies. You are going to step into a season of effortless manifestation, but wait, do not let your guard down just yet. While your body is vulnerable during this massive upgrade, something else is happening in the shadows. There is a deeper layer to your exhaustion that you must understand immediately. Certain forces are trying to hack into this sacred download to steal your pure energy. I need you to pay extremely close attention to this next part. Listen to me very carefully now. Your physical body is undergoing a massive upgrade, but that is only half of the story. There is a completely different reason why you feel so deeply drained every single day. You have an invisible leak in your spiritual aura, and it is not happening by accident. Someone has been deliberately stealing your pure light. You are a magnificent weapon of light. Your heart is so incredibly pure. That makes you a massive target in the unseen realm. The dark forces cannot create their own light, so they send specific people into your life to harvest yours while you are completely unaware of their dark intentions. We call them energy vampires. They are the narcissists and the toxic old friends who always take but never give. Think about the people who only call you when they are in deep trouble. They dump all their heavy emotional baggage right onto your shoulders. You listen to them for hours, you heal their deep wounds, and you offer them your absolute best advice because you genuinely care. But the moment you need a shoulder to cry on, they completely disappear. They are not your real friends, they are energetic parasites. You always try to see the good in absolutely everyone. You make endless excuses for their terrible behavior because you have a bleeding empath heart. You think that if you just love them harder, they will finally change their toxic ways. But my beloved child, you cannot heal a demon by giving it more of your holy blood. You are only starving your own soul. Notice how you feel physically sick after spending time with certain people. Your chest gets incredibly tight. Your heavy brain fog instantly returns. That is not a coincidence at all. That is your spiritual immune system violently rejecting their dark frequency. They are literally siphoning your life force to feed their own empty souls. You feel exhausted because you are being robbed. Some of these people have smiled right in your face for many years. They pretend to celebrate your small victories, but secretly they hate your pure essence because they are deeply jealous of the divine favor that rests so heavily on your life. They know they can never be you, so they try to dim your blinding light by constantly making you feel incredibly small and entirely worthless. The enemy uses these toxic individuals as a deliberate and deadly trap to keep you so distracted by constant relationship drama that you completely miss your divine calling. If you are constantly exhausted by a narcissist, you will never have the energy to build your generational wealth. It is a highly calculated strategy to keep you broke and broken forever. Please hear my voice right now. It is not your fault that you attracted these broken people. Your light is simply irresistible to those who walk in total darkness. You did not do anything wrong by offering them your gentle compassion. Your pure heart is exactly what makes you the chosen one. But heaven is declaring that enough is finally enough. The vicious cycle ends today. The universe is actively exposing every single snake hiding in your tall grass. The masks are falling off the people you once trusted with your deepest secrets. It is incredibly painful to realize that they never truly loved you, but this brutal exposure is a massive blessing in disguise because heaven is fiercely protecting your bright future. You are finally seeing them through clear eyes. Right now, these energy vampires are completely panicking in the shadows. They can feel that your frequency is shifting far beyond their toxic reach. They are desperately trying to pull you back into their low vibration. They will send you random messages or try to pick pointless fights just to trigger your precious energy, but you must not take their desperate bait. Remain completely silent. You must protect your spiritual space with absolute ferocity from this day forward. Your energy is a sacred currency. You cannot afford to spend it on dead investments anymore. When you cut off their supply, they will suddenly starve in the dark. They will realize exactly what they lost, but it will be far too late for them. The heavy door of your grace is slamming shut permanently. You have survived their cruel emotional manipulation for way too long. The heavy chains of their toxic expectations are breaking off your neck right this very second. You are no longer their personal dumping ground, but as these parasites are forcefully removed from your daily life, you will begin to experience a strange new silence, and the noise of the world will suddenly stop completely. You might look around and realize that your circle has become incredibly small. You might even feel entirely alone in this cold world. But do not let this sudden emptiness scare you at all, because there is a massive divine reason why your phone has stopped ringing. I am about to explain the profound mystery behind your current isolation, and it will change everything you believe. Now, my beloved child, let us talk about the silence that has been breaking your heart. You look around and realize that your circle is entirely empty today, and the phone never rings anymore. The people you loved so fiercely have completely vanished from your life, and you feel entirely abandoned in the cold. You wonder if being a good person was actually a massive mistake. It is a brutal paradox that makes absolutely no logical sense to your tired mind. You gave them your absolute best. You were the incredibly loyal friend, while they were constantly betraying you in secret. You forgave them when they did not even bother to apologize for their casual cruelty. But instead of receiving pure love in return, you were just left completely drained. You gave them your last dollar when you were struggling to survive yourself. You defended their name in rooms where they were actively plotting your painful downfall. The bleeding empath always chooses to see the light in people who only carry pure darkness. And your reward for this incredible loyalty was a sharp knife right in your back. It left you completely breathless. You must understand that light and darkness can never share the exact same space. The more pure your heart became, the more their dark spirits hated your bright presence. Your goodness was a massive mirror reflecting their ugly flaws right back at them. They isolated you because your divine light made their hidden demons incredibly uncomfortable. They could not stand your high vibration. But heaven saw the invisible damage they were doing to your gentle soul. The universe saw how their toxic words were slowly poisoning your beautiful mind. So I stepped in. I deliberately removed them from your sacred timeline without asking for your permission. What you are experiencing right now is not a punishment at all. It is a strict divine quarantine designed to protect you. I had to isolate you so you could finally heal without their constant toxic interruptions. I needed to pull you into the silent wilderness to wash their heavy residue off your spirit. If I had let them stay, they would have destroyed the massive blessing I am currently preparing. They would have stolen your generational wealth and claimed it as their own. I could not let that happen. They were secretly acting like heavy anchors tied directly to your tired ankles. They wanted to keep you drowning in their chaotic drama, so you would never rise above their level, and the divine quarantine was the only way to permanently cut those thick ropes of manipulation. I had to make them walk away because you were far too kind to push them out yourself. Your current solitude is a heavy shield of armor wrapping around your entire life. You are completely safe inside this holy isolation chamber. Do not let the enemy convince you that you are lonely, because you are simply heavily protected by angelic forces. Hit subscribe to establish a divine energy receiving station around your aura. Let that simple physical action be your clear boundary today. The people who walked away from you thought they were leaving you to completely shatter. They genuinely believed that you would desperately beg them to come back to your life. But they made a fatal miscalculation because they did not realize who you truly belong to. They are watching you from a distance right now, and they are absolutely terrified because you are thriving alone. They thought their cruel absence would destroy you, but it actually became your greatest superpower. You finally stopped pouring your pure gold into their bottomless pits of endless need. You started keeping your divine energy for your own massive growth. And now you are blooming so brightly that it literally blinds their envious eyes. The boomerang of divine justice is already in motion. You are no longer the fragile empath who begs for crumbs of basic human affection. That weak version of you died forever in the lonely wilderness. You have evolved into a quiet master of reality who commands absolute respect without saying a single word. The universe is clearing out the cheap seats in your life. Heaven is making room for the royalty that is about to enter. Do not mourn the loss of people who were only assigned to your painful history. They were never meant to walk into your glorious future. Their season is permanently over. But as you sit in this beautiful protective silence, you might notice another kind of quietness. You might feel like even heaven has stopped speaking to you lately, and that specific silence feels incredibly heavy on your soul. You pray for a clear sign, but the heavens seem completely shut like iron doors, and you ask for a miracle only to hear the loud echo of your own tired voice. Why does the universe go completely quiet right before your biggest breakthrough? There is a massive secret hidden inside the profound silence of God. Breathe deeply right now, because the exact answer will shatter your entire perspective. You feel the deep silence of the world right now, but there is a much heavier quietness that breaks your tired heart. You pray in the dark and hear absolutely nothing. It feels like the universe has completely closed its heavy iron doors, while you are left entirely alone in the bitter cold. You wonder if heaven has forgotten you. Please listen to my voice very carefully today. My apparent silence is never a form of cruel punishment. When a master teacher is giving a final test, the room must remain completely quiet. I am not ignoring your desperate cries for help. I am actively working behind the thick veil to arrange the massive pieces of your beautiful future before you even arrive. You are not a flawed product of your painful past. You are currently being reshaped in the hands of a deeply patient potter. I see a beautiful soul waiting to be made entirely whole. But a magnificent masterpiece requires absolute focus and total stillness in the dark room while the delicate details are carefully perfected. The heavy pressure hurts your tired body today, but you are being molded into an unbreakable vessel. Think about a massive ancient tree in the deep forest. Before it can grow tall enough to touch the high clouds, it must violently push its roots downward into the cold and dark dirt. No one ever sees the brutal struggle happening underground. They only see the glorious branches when the bright spring finally arrives. You are in the dark dirt right now. You are building an invisible foundation that will easily survive any heavy storm. A cheap building can go up in just a few short days, but a magnificent royal fortress requires months of deep and painful digging. You are being built to hold a massive generational wealth that will outlast your entire lifetime. If I gave you the heavy blessing right now, it would instantly crush your fragile frame. You must be completely ready to hold the immense weight of this new reality. I know the waiting season feels completely unbearable. You have cried until your eyes burned and your throat was completely raw. You begged for a simple sign to show you that you are on the right path. But faith requires you to step forward boldly when you cannot even see the heavy stairs right in front of you. Your blind obedience in this heavy darkness is shaking the entire spiritual realm. The intense heat you feel right now is the refining fire of the universe. It is burning away every single limitation that the Matrix placed on your mind. You thought your past mistakes had permanently disqualified you from receiving my ultimate grace. But the holy fire is actually purifying your spirit and burning the heavy chains of your old guilt into absolute ashes. You are becoming incredibly light. You are the ultimate cycle breaker for your entire bloodline. Your ancestors prayed for the exact freedom that you are currently fighting to secure. That is exactly why the universe is demanding so much from your tired soul today. You are doing the heavy lifting for generations of people who will never even know your name. But heaven has recorded every single tear you shed in this dark furnace. Do not misinterpret the quiet atmosphere around you. The silence of heaven also means the absolute defeat of your dark enemies. They have run out of heavy weapons to throw at your protective shield. The chaotic noise of their toxic attacks has been permanently muted by my strict command, while your beautiful soul is quietly preparing for the greatest victory of your life. You are finally experiencing the profound peace of a protected territory. You are a quiet master of reality in the making. The world may look at your isolated life and think you have completely failed, but they are foolishly judging a brilliant masterpiece before the final paint is completely dry, and they have absolutely no idea what massive wave is coming next. Your quietness is terrifying to those who constantly need loud validation to feel important. You draw your massive strength directly from the unseen source. Your deep roots have finally reached the underground river of absolute abundance. The brutal winter season of your soul is officially coming to a complete end. You have survived the painful stretching and the heavy isolation of the dark room, while the universe was secretly preparing a table for you in the presence of your enemies. Now, heaven is slowly turning the lights back on in your beautiful life. The silence is about to be broken by a massive victory. But as you step out of this divine furnace, you will notice a massive shift in the atmosphere because the energy around you is rapidly changing. The people who tried to bury you in the dark are suddenly realizing their fatal mistake. They thought they had completely destroyed you, but they only planted you deeper into my protective grace. Right now, they are watching your massive rise in absolute panic. Listen closely to what is happening to them today. The people who smiled in your face while plotting your downfall are currently watching your rise in absolute panic. They thought they had buried you deep in the cold dirt. They genuinely believed that their malicious gossip had permanently destroyed your beautiful future. But they made one fatal miscalculation. They forgot exactly who you belong to. You are the ultimate cycle breaker. You are completely protected by a divine energy that they cannot even comprehend. When they pushed you into the dark wilderness, they expected you to shatter and beg for their mercy. But instead of breaking into pieces, you used that heavy isolation to forge an unbreakable spirit. You turned their toxic poison into pure gold. Right now, the boomerang of divine justice has already been released from the courts of heaven. The exact traps they carefully dug for your downfall have become the very pits they are falling into today. They are watching their own lives slowly crumble, while your heavy winter season is finally coming to a glorious end. Heaven is demanding a total repayment for your pain. They see that the heavy exhaustion that once paralyzed your physical body has suddenly vanished. You are no longer the bleeding empath who simply absorbs their toxic waste. You have transformed that deep weariness into a blinding storm of pure power. And it absolutely terrifies them because they can no longer control your gentle heart. You are untouchable now. The narcissists who tried to drain your pure energy are starving in the dark right this very second. They desperately try to find another source of light to feed their empty souls, but nothing will ever compare to your pure frequency. They are haunted by the massive grace that surrounds your every single step. Your absolute silence is completely deafening to their ears. You do not need to seek any earthly revenge today. A quiet master of reality never lowers their vibration to fight in the dirty mud with spiritual peasants. Your massive success and your deep inner peace are the ultimate punishment for those who tried to break you. You simply exist in pure joy while their own dark karma consumes them alive. You have already won. They whisper your name in secret rooms because they cannot understand how you survived the heavy storm. They thought the brutal attacks on your mind would force you to forfeit your immense generational wealth. But every single arrow they fired at your back only pushed you faster toward your magnificent destiny. The universe used their dark jealousy to permanently elevate your throne. My beloved child, you must hold your head incredibly high today. The spiritual realm has shifted entirely in your favor, and the old enemies are permanently locked out of your sacred timeline. The heavy doors they tried to slam in your face have been ripped entirely off their hinges by angelic forces. Absolutely nothing can block the massive flood of abundance coming toward you right now. They will try to crawl back into your life when they see the blinding light of your new reality. They will offer you fake apologies and pretend that the painful history never even happened. But your divine quarantine has given you the perfect vision to see right through their cheap illusions. You will never let a parasite step back into your holy sanctuary. The heavy gate is closed. The universe is wrapping a thick cloak of ultimate authority around your tired shoulders. The people who constantly mocked your silent prayers are about to witness the most extraordinary manifestation of divine favor in your life. Heaven is preparing a massive table for you right in the presence of your enemies. They will be forced to watch you feast on abundance. Feel the massive surge of energy rushing back into your physical body right this very second. The heavy brain fog is completely gone, and your vision is sharper than ever before. You are standing in the powerful aftermath of your longest battle with a beautiful victor crown resting on your head. You survived the brutal furnace, and now you own the entire fire. You are a living testimony. The old version of you would have felt guilty for outgrowing those people, but you no longer carry the heavy burden of trying to save them. You have finally accepted your royal position in this massive spiritual hierarchy. You are stepping into a glorious season of effortless manifestation and total peace. Every tear you cried when they betrayed you has been collected by the angels. Those very same tears are watering the massive seeds of your incoming wealth. You are receiving a heavy compensation for every single sleepless night. The scales of divine justice are heavily tipping in your direction right now. But wait, do not let your guard down just yet, because the enemy is incredibly desperate. They realize that the boomerang has struck them, and they have one final dark trick to play. There is a deadly snare hiding right in the tall grass just inches before your glorious finish line. You must listen to my voice very carefully to avoid this final trap. Everything depends on this next step. My beloved child, the brutal winter of your soul is officially over today. The heavy skies have finally broken open to reveal a blinding light. A massive generational wealth transfer has just been signed in the courts of heaven, and your specific name is written in pure gold on that sacred ledger. You have passed the ultimate test of heavy endurance. The extreme exhaustion you felt was the heavy price of this massive transition. But the dark veil is completely lifting off your beautiful life right now. Within the next 72 hours, you are going to witness a profound physical manifestation of divine favor. The heavy doors that were permanently jammed will suddenly swing wide open for you because heaven is actively clearing your divine path. The financial chains that suffocated your bloodline are being permanently erased. You will no longer live in a constant state of brutal survival mode. The universe is heavily compensating you for every single betrayal you quietly endured in the dark. You are stepping into a glorious season where your pure energy is finally matched, and your quiet sacrifices are beautifully multiplied. You do not have to beg for a seat at their cheap tables anymore. You were born to rule a magnificent kingdom. The people who mocked your silent prayers will be forced to watch your massive elevation. Heaven is preparing a glorious feast for you right in the presence of your oldest enemies. But you will not even look at their jealous faces because your mind will be completely focused on the blinding light. You are a quiet master of reality who commands total respect. You have officially reclaimed your immense spiritual power. But wait. Do not celebrate your massive victory just yet. The dark enemy is in an absolute state of sheer panic right now. They know the heavy blessing is hovering right above your tired head, and they have laid one final fatal illusion right before your doorstep because they desperately want to make you forfeit the entire reward. 99% of chosen ones fall for this exact trap right before the dawn. The final snare is the dangerous illusion of the familiar past. The enemy will send a toxic person back into your life to distract your pure focus. They might send an old friend who suddenly wants to apologize after years of cruel silence, but they only want to trigger your heavy trauma, so you drop the massive blessing. You must ignore their cheap bait completely. They might also plant sudden heavy doubts in your tired mind tonight. They will whisper that this massive miracle is simply too good to be true, and they want you to believe that you are still the broken empath who deserves absolutely nothing. Do not let their desperate lies penetrate your new frequency. You are the ultimate cycle breaker. You deserve every single drop of this pure abundance. Heaven requires a physical container to hold this massive new frequency. If you hesitate at the heavy threshold, the enemy will quickly scramble the divine signal, so you must anchor this reality right now before the fragile window closes entirely. Do not let the dark forces convince you to stay completely passive today. Make your physical move to protect your sacred inheritance right this very second. I need you to draw a heavy line in the spiritual sand today. Your absolute silence in the face of this trap is not enough to protect your pure aura, and you must establish a physical boundary that the demonic forces can clearly see. The universe is eagerly waiting for your explicit permission to release the heavy floodgates. You hold the final key in your own hands. Type 777 in the comments below right now. Let that specific action create a blinding wall of fire around your physical aura. This is your sacred spiritual signature before the highest courts of heaven, and when you type 777, you permanently lock the heavy shield to seal this glorious reality. The dark parasites will go completely blind when they try to look at you. The universe operates on the flawless law of the divine harvest. If you feel led by the Spirit, you can also sow a massive financial seed today using the Super Thanks button. Heaven is looking for your radical faith to activate a massive multiplication of your incoming wealth. Just 3 days ago, a tired mother stepped out in bold faith, and she saw her heavy debts completely cleared. That exact same angelic protocol of multiplication is hovering over your beautiful life today. But the most important thing is that you claim your divine protection immediately. Do not leave your energetic doors unlocked for the enemy tonight, but instead speak your quiet authority into the digital universe so the heavens can record your brave choice. The heavy padlock is now firmly secured on your life. The dark enemies are permanently trapped outside the blinding wall of pure fire, and you have successfully navigated the most dangerous part of your brutal spiritual journey. The massive wealth transfer is safely locked inside your sacred vault forever. You are entirely untouchable and completely safe. Breathe a deep sigh of relief because the brutal war is finally over. Now, my beloved child, you must breathe deeply. Lay down the heavy stones you have carried for so many years. The brutal spiritual war is completely over today. You do not have to fight these invisible battles anymore. Your tired and beautiful shoulders can finally drop. The heavy tension in your neck is melting away right this very second. You are entirely safe in this holy sanctuary now. The massive and brutal storm has permanently passed. The dark clouds have completely cleared from your beautiful sky. The universe is wrapping a thick blanket of pure peace around your tired soul. You are fiercely protected by legions of angelic forces. They stand guard outside your door so you can finally rest. You do not need to stay alert tonight. Every single mistake you made in the past is entirely forgotten. Your heavy guilt is thrown into the deepest ocean of my grace. You are completely forgiven for the times you stumbled in the dark. The self-condemnation you carried is turning into absolute ashes. I see a pure and magnificent soul shining brightly. Your spirit is completely clean and beautiful today. You no longer need to strive for absolutely anything. You do not have to prove your immense value to a blind world. Your quiet existence is more than enough for heaven. You are a quiet master of reality who rules through absolute peace. Your deep silence is your most powerful weapon against the chaotic noise. You simply rest and receive the massive incoming blessing. Feel the gentle warmth of divine love washing over your physical body. It starts from the top of your head and flows down to your tired feet. The heavy exhaustion is being permanently washed away by this holy river. Your nervous system is finally returning to a state of absolute calm. The massive spiritual upgrade is fully integrated into your divine blood. You have survived the darkest valleys with your gentle heart completely intact. That is the greatest miracle of your entire life. You refuse to let the cruel world turn you into a bitter person. Your profound empathy is a rare and beautiful treasure. Heaven honors your incredible resilience today. You are deeply loved by the highest courts of eternity. Close your eyes and feel the massive weight lifting off your chest. The invisible heavy backpack you wore for decades is finally gone. You are stepping into a glorious season of effortless manifestation. The heavy doors will open for you without any heavy pushing. The right people will walk into your life and they will fiercely protect your gentle peace. You are completely safe inside my protective arms. The dark enemies cannot even see your bright frequency anymore. Their toxic arrows simply bounce off your blinding wall of pure light. You can finally let your beautiful guard down. There is absolutely no danger hiding in the shadows tonight. The universe is watching over you with pure and endless joy. But outside this protected space, there is a gentle soul sitting in the dark. They are crying the exact same tears you cried yesterday. They are desperately begging heaven for a clear sign of hope. You are not just a survivor today. You are a blinding beacon of pure light. You carry the exact medicine that their bleeding heart desperately needs. Share this message right now to become a prophetic voice. Send this specific frequency to save a bleeding soul out there in the cold darkness. Throw a heavy lifeline to another empath who desperately needs to hear this absolute truth. Your simple action will accumulate massive cosmic blessings. You are becoming a pure conduit for my divine power today. After you cast that beautiful lifeline, it is time for you to sleep. Close your tired eyes and surrender completely to the divine silence. The gentle angels are singing a soft lullaby over your beautiful spirit tonight. You will wake up tomorrow with a quiet authority and a deeply refreshed soul. The heavy winter is permanently gone from your beautiful life. I will meet you in the quiet space of your dreams tonight. We will walk together in fields of pure golden light. You will receive ancient secrets while your physical body rests deeply. Do not worry about tomorrow because the heavy lifting is already done. Everything is perfectly aligned for your massive victory. You are deeply cherished by the divine creator. Breathe in the absolute peace of this holy moment. Let the pure air fill your lungs with fresh hope. Breathe out all the lingering doubts that try to hold you back. You are completely free from the heavy chains of your old reality. The beautiful dawn is breaking across your glorious horizon. Step softly into your new magnificent kingdom without any fear. My beloved child, your magnificent journey is just beginning. The painful chapters are permanently closed and the ink is completely dry. You are writing a brand new story of immense joy and effortless abundance. The universe is smiling down at you with immense pride. You have done incredibly well, my beautiful warrior. Sleep in absolute peace tonight.